let's start with our typical desk check. How many dishes does everybody have? We're starting there. Sorry, I'm still getting adjusted. I also need to zoom in my webcam again. This happens every time. There we go. Let's readjust the microphone just a little bit more too. It's easy to put off the setup for the stream. I probably need to dedicate my time a little bit earlier to setting that up. Moving my microphone out of the way. Adjusting as needed. Setting up the what's up, Jabinati? I need to take a little bit more time before I turn on the camera. I specifically need to set up more time. That's the current plan. Risk of Rain 2? Yeah. We're gonna do some Risk of Rain 2 later today, too. It was something I played a little bit earlier with some of my family, and I think I can go back to it. I need to purchase the DLC. I've not played it modded though, no. I don't even have the DLCs, so I haven't put any extra effort since I last played in like 2022. I'd worked on unlocking some of the skins, making sure to get to the Oblivion event, or Obliteration event, I think, with everyone. I've been having fun with that. Kind of ran out of steam for things to do. I didn't really want to hunt down artifacts for that much time. That was pretty fun though. I always forget how much different each character plays like. You can play as Dragon Ball Z stuff. That's pretty... I'd imagine there's a lot of modded stuff that's just crazy. Maybe we can download a couple of mods and try them out live coming up. Probably not today. I probably want to get through a little bit more of the content in there. 130 mods that work together? That's a lot of mods. I'm surprised that they're all so compatible. That's pretty interesting. It just is boggling to the mind, having so many independent, or what I would imagine to be independent, creators allowing for compatibility. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Risk of Rain is pretty straightforward on the development front. I really, really liked too. That stream modding isn't the most difficult. People are making some really wild stuff. It's just not a skill set that I have, so. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, let's actually get Bazaar open in the background for the music. That way we can do a pretty quick transition over. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about today. We're probably just gonna continue with the chatting, hanging out. You are also against mods? Yeah. I can completely understand the tipping point. I've modded Skyrim a couple of times. I did that with Fallout 4 as well. There was a certain playstyle that I really specifically wanted for Fallout 4 specifically, that I just could not get without modding it a lot. And that was the way that I really enjoyed that game. Modding, it allows you to really define the content to exactly what you want to play. And I think that that's pretty fun. I like the versatility of it. It's pretty neat. Sorry, I'm doing a body check. I'm doing the top down. Trying to get the motor running. Get the brain started. I've been doing a lot of just pondering about a variety of things. Earlier today I watched a video about AI that my uncle recommended. And I've been thinking about that one for a minute. It's hard to wrap your head around having a potential godlike being in AI in the future. I know it's not just AI, but it's like, it's pretty adjacent. It's based off of the same sort of infrastructure. That's pretty wild stuff. was playing hardcore difficulty with your modded. 500% from start and scale by the amount of items. And wow. That's some punishment. That's some adversity to set yourself up against. Really allows for that feeling of overcoming, I'd imagine. That eventual triumph. The Souls games are kind of that for me. I still need to beat Elden Ring. I don't know, I might do that for the stream for a little bit at some point. I'm still pretty lacking in knowledge on that game. I bounced off twice now for Elden Ring. Oh, you played Dragon Ball Super Saiyan? Okay, yeah, that seems pretty fun. Lots of power scaling. Sounds like a good time. Feels good to get that power fantasy in. Who doesn't love a little bit of that in their games? Melania's fun too, yeah. Her skill set seems like it would translate really well. Lots of dashing, mercenary adjacent, I would imagine. Guess the ulti. I can only imagine. I can only imagine that it's waterfowl dance. Oh, hang on, that's the cat. One moment. Come on in. I'm sorry, I don't mean to lock you out. Come on, come hang out. It's kitty hangout time too. Come here. She's levitating. Oh, don't rub up against the mic, please. Come here. The cat loves to take over. Just lay down. Let's move this out of the way too. Lay down, Missy. It's cat cam now. Choose where you're gonna sit. There you go. What a silly cat. Aren't all cats a little bit silly? We love the silly cats. I feel like it's important to take care of the animals in our lives. They don't really understand the lives that they have to the same extent that we do. I feel like it's important to remember how much control we have, and that it's our responsibility to use that control for the betterment of their very short and fragile lives. Or at least varying lengths. I feel like you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat their pets. Like, for example, you know how they treat their pet. That's why it's important to treat them well. Or at least I try to treat her well. All things considered. Okay, get off the desk if you're gonna be sniffing stuff. You know that this is not your space now. What's everybody's weekend's plans? This weekend, I'm going to be packing to go back to my hometown. Sleep in Bazaar for you. That's pretty funny. It's a great weekend plan. I think it's important to make sure to get your Bazaar time in. Also your sleep. Don't forget to stay hydrated. And also eat. Gotta fuel the body as well as the mind. Bazaar does a pretty good job of wetting the mind. Or at least pretending like you are. That's why I try and limit my time on it. I try and only play my ranked and like 2 others. Hope to get a 24-hour stream tomorrow. It's a 1 for you. Maybe you should get some sleep so that you can prep for that too. I'll certainly pop in if you're streaming for 24 hours. That's a lot of effort. Every time I've tried, I have not succeeded. Tried, couldn't get some sleep. I get that. Gotta spend some midnight oil time. Maybe try and get back to it a little bit more. Started arguing with, yeah, sometimes you need distraction content. That's what we're here for. To just be a social environment with some background noise. At least that's the plan. I gotta be a lot more active with what I'm trying to say. I'm still in slow motion a little bit. Trying to pick up the brain pieces a little bit more. Harmonize body and mind a little bit. Just a smidgen. That's part of why I'm doing the 30 minutes before gameplay sections too. Lets me catch up with the body and mind stuff a little bit. Be more in tune. What do you want, kitty? Do you want to go lay down? Wrapping paper time. Cat wrapping paper time. Crinkling. Crinkling and crinkling my wrapping paper. What are some sensory stimulations that y'all can't handle? I think mine is probably like rough clothes wear. Like a very specific kind of texture of like grit where it feels like it's always catching on your skin. I get that a lot with synthetic materials, even not just natural materials. I feel like the skin, I've got to have it be smooth. If there's any catching, it gives me something for my brain to catch on to. Y'all ever think about those like eccentric types from the 1700s where it's like, oh yeah, they were a bachelor and they helped invent something very, very niche and specific just because it was something that they really focused on. That's pretty, that's something that I think about pretty often. Oh, you got a clip for me? You gotta go for this build. Let me see this. Wow. Those are some big numbers and they just go up so fast. Holy. Okay, so crane build on pig. Crane build on pig. Noted. Thanks for the clip. Needed more birds. It looked like it did. Needed the 230k raw. That's a lot. Gotta aim for metronome then. I haven't really theory crafted many builds or seen a whole lot of theory crafting for the Bazaar yet. I think that's part of why I've been playing so little of it, is because I want to feel like I finally unlock that for myself too. I don't want to just be handed a guide that's like, always prioritize X, Y, Z. I like doing a lot of my own on decision or on the fly decision making, even if sometimes it's suboptimal. It's also for the sake of content. Sometimes you gotta try and make the ice club work. That's the very specific stream clip that I think of. I posted it on my YouTube a couple of days ago, and I was like, I'm actually really proud of this one. It was aimed directly at what I thought would be more purposeful content. At least more of a purposeful run with the Bazaar. I think that will be my first marked foray into accelerating. Oh, you've got another clip for me? Let's see it. Holy. That's some crazy damage. Looks like single weapon Vanessa is also super good. Diamond holster. Yes. That seems pretty good too. Except katana. But katana, you keep katana. You typically keep katana. Unless you want to be running something like a narwhal. I'm not a big fan of running narwhal super long term. At least I find it's a lot more difficult to get good single weapons. A lot of upfront damage Vanessa seems quite good. Gotta pilot the run towards that from the get-go, right? Or is that more of a nothing else is working, let's Switchblade Katana kinda cracked. Yep. That it is a really good combo. Early, yeah. In the early game, you gotta focus a lot more on how do you get your damage out quickly. Optimizing the damage that you do before people really have like block engines or big heal engines online. I think I'm probably gonna do Vanessa ranked today. We'll see what kind of build we get going. Pig is really enticing. I've been thinking about doing some pig runs. I'm gonna take off the beanie. It's getting a little warmer in here. Unleash the scalp. Allow heat flow, or at least some cooling. Can't overheat your computer. Don't overheat your meat computer.